corporate average fuel economy, are a set of standards that brands must meet, or they need to buy credits from other manufacturers that exceed them, or they need to pay penalties on the vehicles that they sell that don't meet those standards. It was first enacted by Congress here in the U.S. in 1975, so exactly 50 years ago. In January, the Trump administration announced that it would revisit the NHTSA's standards. And in June of this year, they issued an interruptive rule limiting its enforcement. And then Congress also completely eliminated CAFE penalties for passenger cars and light trucks as part of the recent spending bill. So they couldn't outright get rid of the CAFE standards, but what they were able to do is remove any and all penalties. The standards exist, but you don't have to pay any fines anymore if you don't meet them, which effectively means they do nothing. So there's no incentive for manufacturers to adhere to them.
There is, because if it was that easy to change for one side, it's going to change back the other way for the other side. So if they're not gone entirely and the enforcement is stopped right now, they can't make a bet on that. They can't just go like, all right, we're back in on Hemis and everything, because then in 3 or 4 years, when somebody else is in office, then they've put all their eggs in the wrong basket again. So it does behoove them only because of the uncertainty. I don't want to get rid of the CAFE standards. I don't want to get rid of I want them to be more realistic. If you tighten the noose so much that we're all just driving around in lifeless little...
I mean, we tried this in the 70s, and that was called the malaise era for a reason.
Right. Right now, we have less carbon emissions per capita in the U.S. than we did before World War I.
Yep. Well, they're still there, and you make a good point that although they don't have to pay a fine right now, to make a vehicle, to get it crash tested, to get it emissions tested, to all of the million things you have to do in order to sell a vehicle here. If another administration comes in 3.5 years, you're going to have to undo all that. But I will say, Dodge, had they had a crystal ball, I don't think would have made the same decisions they made, because they were selling more and more Chargers and Challengers every year. I think they would have just kept doing that and moved slower into the EV space.
Introduced and overlapped. If you overlapped a 6-cylinder at the same time as the Hemi.
Overlapped, exactly.
And you had them both on at the same time.
Let people both drive both.
If you just go like, nope, you don't get that anymore. In fact, you don't get any gas engines anymore. It's going to be electric. Freaking Carlos Tavares, he sucks. I hate that guy. He's the worst.